Sometimes I'll have a situation like this where I've got this one object that's giving information to all these objects down here, and you can't really make room for this object down here. You could easily use like a send and receive pair, but something else that you can do also is based on what kind of data is coming out of that object, you can create. So in this case, it's a bang that's coming out. So I could just do trigger B. And then I can move it down here, and it's much cleaner than it was a minute ago simply by just adding this one object down here. So just an easy way to clean up your patching to make it a little bit less spaghetti-like. You can have the console in your patch. You don't have to have the inspector open to be able to see what the console is outputting. You can just, the middle outlet of this console object actually spits out what is coming out of what is going into the console. So if I have, let me just do print down here, bang. You'll see I'm sending it to the console. My face is kind of going away, but I'm sending it to the console. I'm also sending it to these console elements that I've hooked up by simply putting a console and then prepend append. For just being able to see your console without having to have the inspector sidebar open the whole time as well. You can send the clear message to that console object to clear the whole console. So if I send it, let me put some more information in the console again. So again, my face is in the way, but you can see I've got some numbers here. If I hit clear, send the console message clear, it clears the whole console. Likewise, you can also create this object, which is just sending a max message to max. Add a semicolon, and then on the next row, type in max clear window, and it will likewise clear the console. I think that this is something that's kind of useful. I created this quick little snippet also for having a console that clears itself after a certain amount of time. So if I add those numbers back in, after 1500 milliseconds, it will clear itself out. So that's something that you can also create to help in your patching, especially if you're new. The MakeNote object actually has a new repeat mode. And I had built a workaround for this that's relatively complicated. As you can see, that is what this mess is down here. Essentially what this group of objects does, if a note comes through, a note on message comes in for a certain note, it's going to block not only note ons, but also note off messages for that object or for that particular note for a set duration, which I controlled down here at the bottom with this pipe object. But that's essentially what the new MakeNote object or MakeNote repeat mode does. Repeat mode 4. As you can see, if we go to the inspector and look at the repeat modes, if a note is still playing, when you retrigger it, the MakeNote object will ignore the retriggered note and leave the note off time unaffected. So this is actually the mode that I find myself using most often.